Hi, I'm George with Efficient AC Electric and Plumbing in Austin, Texas. I'm here to do a do-it-yourself condenser cleaning. Some of you may be brave enough to tackle this, and before you start tearing into the unit and washing it out using your nut driver, I want to talk about safety. You must de-energize the unit to do that, and that will happen in one of two ways. One is the unit will be powered through a disconnect that you pull out on the wall or you flip on the wall, and it turns all the power off to this unit. The other way, since this unit was installed a long time ago and the panel is right behind it, we're going to flip the breaker off. So you need to know what breaker goes to this unit, and we know that. If you're unsure, it's probably not the do-it-yourself job you want to do. All right, so we've opened up the main panel to the house, and we know that this double 30 that I just disconnected powers that unit. If you're not 100% sure, you've got to use a meter and check the unit internally. We're going to leave this disconnected. If you're going to be right here and no one's around, you're okay to leave this panel the way it is. If you disconnected it and you can't see this panel, you need to close this panel up and put a lock on it so no one can come here and turn it back on while you're working on the unit. All right, so now we have the power off. Let's go clean the unit. So we want to clean this unit from the inside out and push all the dirt out. Remember, when this unit runs and the air blows up, it's pulling air and dirt in through, getting those coils dirty all around this condensing unit. The real way to clean this is not from the outside in. It would be very difficult on this unit because it's also got a hail guard on it, but it's from the inside out. To do that, we've got to remove the screws that hold this fan assembly in. I've already removed 3. I'm going to remove the 4th. Put it in my pocket so I don't lose it. And then we're going to lift this up, and I need a helper to lift this fan assembly up and out of the way, just like that. Well, we're now ready to clean the condensing coils. My assistant Mario is holding up the fan unit so no damage happens to the wiring. I'm going to start in the back and go from the top down with this hose, very gently. No power washers, nothing other than hose pressure is what you want to do this. And I'm going to try to not give him a bath either. We're going to start at the top and slowly work through every row. Very methodical. All right, so I've gotten a good start on this, but you can see it's going to take a while to clean it. We've got to do all 3 sides to this condensing unit, top down, all the way around, and get down into the bottom of it, which on a unit this tall is challenging. Fortunately, most units are not this tall. They're a little bit lower. So once we're done, we can put it back together and the cleaning's complete. Very simple, but it is a physical process. So keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that we don't want any of this wiring to be damaged going into the motor, and we don't want the motor to have clearance problems when you put everything back together. All right. So now we're ready to close this back up. The system's clean. And very carefully, we're going to install the fan assembly and get the bolt holes lined up. Yeah, just like that. Right there. And look, I haven't lost the screws. You need a nut driver for this. We put the 4 screws back on. I'm only showing one. Then we go to the panel and turn these breakers back on, and the system will start soon. Typically, there's a few minute startup cycle. It won't start immediately, but within 5 minutes, it'll be running.